friends, happy Sunday. Well, we're going into week 3 of staying at home. Hopefully you can hear me. I decided to hop on and cook and share a recipe with you. So, I'm actually doing a dish that's a spin off of my mom's dish she used to cook for us, which is called Picadillo. And it was ground beef, garlic, onion, tomato, ground beef, potatoes, and then cabbage. And then she would, and then we would eat that over a bed of rice. My kids love this dish. It's a twist on my mom's dish. We call it Stettler stew, and we actually named it probably maybe 3 years ago. So I am going to cook with you on this. Hey guys, thanks for hopping on. Tell me, one of the things that I've noticed since we've started staying at home is we really haven't eaten out much. And I've been cooking a little bit more, and I'm probably gonna find myself cooking a lot more of what my mom fed us when we were younger. So, again, this dish is called Stettler stew. It's got ground turkey in it. It's got garlic, onions, tomatoes, potatoes, and superfoods, which kale, a mixture of kale. So I'm gonna start with sauteing garlic. How many of you actually have used Instacart? I just found, I was looking into that the other day and started using it yesterday. Placed my order at I don't know, I think it was at 6 a.m. in the morning. It said that my order would be in on Thursday, and it actually came last night. So I got an opportunity to utilize it, and so I ordered from 2 different stores, and service-wise, I actually had better service with Vaughn's. Actually very communicative. Anytime that they were low in stock, she would share with me what was actually what an option would be. So very helpful, very useful, super nice. And then my other one came from, and I never shop there, called Food for Less. Just because it's further in towards Oxnard, further away from us. And they didn't communicate with me at all. But I did see on the app that they were shopping for me, and I had to add a couple more things. So had an opportunity to add my tomatoes that I needed. Hey, Missy. I am cooking our family dinner, so I thought I'd hop on. Wanted to find out what creative things other people are making that they probably wouldn't have made if they were quarantined at home. And sharing tips on resources that I've been using, like Instacart. I actually surprisingly have not, hey LaShawn, have not used my Instapot since we've been quarantined, which is unlike me because anything that's convenient and easy I will typically do. So I'm actually making Stettler stew, and I thought I would hop on Sunday and just say hello and show you how I make it. I used 2 tablespoons of avocado oil, and I'm sauteing my garlic and onions, and it's too bad that you can't have the scent of what's cooking right here. So it's a twist on a dish that I grew up with. The dish that my mom would make was called Picadillo. And hey Amy, it had garlic, onion, hey Kevin, ground beef and tomato, and then in the end she would throw in cabbage. So that was kind of like a normal dish we would have. I did a twist on this when the kids were little. This is ground turkey, still Picadillo version, but we call it Stettler stew. Someone had asked me on social media what the dish was, and we finally named it. And I know Erin, bless her soul, she is a nurse and is working overtime to help out. She actually has made it before. So this dish is super easy, healthy. I use, instead of cabbage, I use kale. It's a superfoods mixture with kale, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage and broccoli. I didn't know, it was something that I saw at Costco 2 weeks ago, so I grabbed it, but it actually is a salad kit. But at Trader Joe's, they actually have a bag of this. So I'm actually gonna have to separate it and freeze it because it's such a big bag that hopefully I'll get to use it again soon. So I just added, because my kids don't like a lot of tomatoes, I added 1 Roma tomato, and I'm sauteing that as well. Once that's sauteed, I'm gonna add a little over a pound of ground turkey, saute that, and then add my, brown that and then add chicken broth, which I have. I don't know if you guys all use this, but this is, I don't know if you guys use better than bouillon. I know it's opposite, but this is super yummy. We don't have any canned or boxed chicken broth, so I'm just using what I have because I can't go to the store and expect that it's gonna be there. So I'm gonna saute this, and then I'm gonna add my turkey. What are people cooking that they typically probably wouldn't cook, but maybe because you're home, you have time. Like earlier today, Olivia and I actually made homemade pasta, and that turned out really good. A little thicker than we had anticipated. I can't, it's not gluten-free. What's not gluten-free? My dish, there's chicken broth. You can't eat it with chicken broth. Lots of eggs, yes. Okay, so now I'm gonna add my ground turkey, which came with the Instacart. So I'm gonna brown that. I don't know if you guys can, so any bouillon can do then, or just chicken broth. I normally do chicken broth. Yes, chicken broth, LaShawn. But because I didn't have any, and it's not like I'm gonna run to the store and get any, I just used what I got. So the little secret that I have for this, and some of you may cringe at this one, and I'm gonna have to get it, it's in my refrigerator, is fish sauce. If you like Thai food, there's a lot of fish sauce in Thai food. If you like Vietnamese food, any Asian food, there's fish sauce. So I add a little bit of fish sauce in here. But I'm gonna let that brown, and as soon as that's done browning, I will add my broth and my potatoes. I think one of the things that I'm seeing now is that, I mean, how many of you are actually cooking more than you typically would if you weren't quarantined, right? So, and how many of you are staying in your pajamas a little longer than you should be? Thankfully, I have a routine to work out, so I can't really work out in my pajamas. No chicken feet, thanks. Thanks, Kevin. But you could probably make some really good broth with that. Yes, cooking way more. I was thinking maybe I should do another one making pancit. I know a lot of my friends out there have had my recipe. Every time I do a retreat, I end up making the noodle dish, but I'm also thinking, because I've never made it before, is making lumpia. Perhaps that should be a video too. So, all right, I'm gonna go get my fish sauce, so hang on. Oh, and chicken adobo is on the week's list, so maybe I should hop on and show you that, because that's a super easy recipe that a lot of white people like. We're not discriminating, I'm just giving you the truth. And if you have fish sauce, Red Boat is the best. So Jason actually, so my kids have been fairly picky with what we're eating, but they're eating with what we have. I know that when I cook foods that maybe my mom would make or that I know that they love, so they love my chili and they love this dish. Anything with rice they love. Surprisingly, they didn't like my last pancit dish. I'm not sure why. So that's gonna brown. I'm gonna add a little bit of fish sauce, and I am gonna, this is a different spout, just a tad. And then I'm gonna put some pepper. So I will actually add the recipe, once this is over, I will actually add the recipe to the post on this video. And I would love to know if you actually make it. I know the last recipe that I shared was my everything but the bagel was actually really good. I got a lot of feedback, and when I actually do this, I do put it on my blog. And I get feedback with people that actually do cook the things that I share. One of the other things that I shared on my blog was another Filipino dish that I absolutely love because it has sauteed garlic, ginger, onion, and so it gives it a really gingery taste. And it's home, it's food for the soul. It's stuff that brings me back home because it's one of my mom's dishes. It's a Filipino dish that most Filipinos love because it's over, again, a bed of rice. So now that's browned, I'm gonna add the potatoes. So my kids don't really like a lot of potatoes. So this is like 3 red potatoes that are this size. My rice is cooking in my rice cooker. We are Filipinos, so yes, we have a rice cooker in the house. What I don't have is a rice dispenser, but we don't make enough rice to have a rice dispenser. Hey, Gary. Just cooking it up on Sunday. Keeping my social distance virtually, but showing up anyways. So I'm gonna put the chicken broth in and let this sit. And I think I'm gonna add a little bit more water, so hang on. So I'm gonna allow the tomatoes to be tender. I'm not gonna have you guys hang out while the potatoes cook, but the next step would be to add my mixture of kale, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. I'll probably add another bowl of this to add some greens. My kids actually really love it. They'll eat through it. So that's too big. Back here. That's too big too. Gary, I just cook good food. I don't typically cook yucky food. But I am gonna do another video on making pancit because everybody always wants that recipe. But I have to either roast a chicken myself or get a chicken that's already rotisserie because that's the best way to do it. So that's gonna sit probably another 20 minutes to have the diced potatoes get tender, and then I'll add the greens to it, and then we pretty much eat that on a bed of rice, obviously. And then if we have any ripe avocados, we like to add avocado on top of that as well. I think I added everything correctly, but I think this is another way that we can share things. I mean, we're all stuck at home. And from what I hear, we're stuck at home till April 30th. It's like March is totally, completely oblivious to any memory other than staying at home. And then we have April, which is also gonna be another time to be creative. I think I'm just gonna have to buy a nail gun, buy a miter saw, and some paint, because these are other things that I want to do, and I'm thinking that since we're home, we might as well get them done. So I will share the recipe if you promise to, if you do make it, to share with me what you thought of it. I think I'm going to add more water eventually because it looks like the bouillon might be a little bit more than I wanted. So anyways, thanks for hopping on. Hope you guys are doing well. And I'll share the picture when I'm done, when it's all in a bowl. All right, you guys, have a great day. Have a great evening. Be well, stay healthy, and make sure your gut health is your focus, because that is 60 to 80% of that. 60 to 80% of your immune system is actually in your gut. So, all right, you guys, have a great evening. Bye for now.